Welcome, everyone. This is Saturday Evening Chats number 63. And tonight we are joined by Mr. DM Fost, co host extraordinaire. Welcome.
Well, hello.
We have Mr. Rob D, New York Outcast. Welcome.
Hello, thanks for having me.
So, I know I went live last night to talk about Judge Benitez ruling that California's AWB was unconstitutional. But also in that ruling, he put an injunction against California being able to enforce the AWB. But also there's a stay on being able to completely do away with the AWB. So I know California has already said they're going to take this to the 9th. Now, my question is, are they going to seek a 3-judge panel, or are they just going to try going full en banc right out the gate? I'm not exactly sure. That's going to be a best guess scenario on there. I don't know if either one of you guys have any opinions on it.
I think they might try and stretch it out as long as they can. So maybe go 3 and then go en banc.
That is a good possibility. Rob, you have any thoughts on it?
Sorry, phone's acting up. Not really. I'd be interested to see what happens. You never know with these people.
Yep. Don't fall in the friggin' hot tub. That'll ruin the phone.
Live it up while you can.
So I see we have G-Webs that was out in the crowd first, Miss Vanessa Kitty, Makojo, and Thoughts of an Old Soldier. So welcome, everyone. And I know there's rumors that sometime today, or maybe the judges are, or the governor's already signed, but Texas is supposed to be getting the constitutional carry signed. So that'll be pretty cool. And Louisiana, again, they passed constitutional carry, so it's going to be heading to the governor. He's already threatened that he's going to veto it. If the governor vetoes it and it goes back and it stays the same exact way that it went through being passed, there's enough votes in the House and the Senate to then override the governor's veto. Now, will the Democrats who came across and voted with the Republicans have enough gall to stand and say, you know what, we truly believe this should pass and we're going to vote the same way again? Not quite sure. So I see we got Keith Gregory, Mystic Guns, DJ Play Nice. Yeah, DJ, in theory, you're right, but he says 2A is bipartisan, but in theory, yeah, that's completely correct. But as we have seen in the real world, it's not that same. So, I guess we just gotta wait and find out what's gonna happen in Louisiana. So, you guys have any opinions on what's going on right now?
When are they actually doing this for Louisiana?
So the House and Senate have already passed it, and it's going to be heading to the governor's desk. If he vetoes it, then it will go back to find out if they're going to do an override vote. So that should happen in the next week or so.
So it's definitely soon.
Yep. So that should be, theoretically, Louisiana should be the 22nd constitutional state. Moo has to go right there.
Yep, one of your room if you guys ever left your damn state.
Moo says no pooping in the hot tub, Rob.
I make no guarantee.
So, I think it's Monday at 10 a.m. Pennsylvania is having a 2A rally at the Capitol. So, if you are in PA, there should be zero excuses on why you're not there. So
Recommend using Parking Buddy if you're traveling. You get parking spots for the whole day for $10 versus 3 hours for 40.
Well, Moo, it sounds like you need to turn around and head right on back to PA. If you just left PA on Wednesday, then you should be heading right back to PA to go rally and help them. So, so Lee got to move into his house, so that is great news.
Congratulations, Lee.
Bet he's enjoying that.
Hell yeah, especially with that free jacuzzi tub that he got given.
Nice. What's his address?
Yeah,
Kind of got a thing for jacuzzi tubs, you know?
he was I guess they screwed up when they were building it at the plant, and they added those nice tubs freestand. They had one of those freestanding. I think it's like jacuzzi tubs for in the master bath. So that that should help his wife out. What were you saying there? So because I cut you off. Mr. Rob.
I was asking what his address was, so I can come check that stuff out.
He says it's a freestanding spa tub.
Got to give it the New York approval.
So we have been joined by Mr. Carolina EDC. How's it going?
What's up? What's going on?
Not much, just enjoying the weekend. Glad that we're starting to gain a little traction. So
Nice. Yeah, I just left the range. So me and my buddy Range Bros TV is here with me too as well.
What's going on?
hey, how's it going?
Can't complain.
Well, you could, but probably not a whole lot of people would listen, right?
That's right.
So how was the range trip?
Good, other than the bugs eating the hell out of us. That's about it.
They do make bug spray, right? It's like,
yeah, it don't work that well.
well,
It is what it is. We did fine though.
What firearms did you take with you?
A lot. A couple of rifles.
Take the AK with you?
Yeah, but I forgot the ammo. Can't shoot without ammo.
Yeah. I was gonna correct you in your video today. It was twice in your AK videos or with your deal. You were like AK-74. I'm like, no, that's a 47, bud.
Yeah, it happens.
Yep.
I was thinking about my 74. I need to get it. I got to send it back. And I was thinking about that the whole time. So.
Yeah, all it takes is one little thing in the back of your mind, and somehow you will say it on camera.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, it was fun. Try to make some videos as usual. That's about it, basically.
Yeah. Hopefully, if the weather stays like this, the fire risk will go down, and I'll be able to get out to the hills to go shooting.
Yeah, you take that AR out for a spin.
Yeah. I might try sneaking out tomorrow and putting a couple of rounds through it.
There you go.
Okay, we lost Rob.
You must have drowned.
Dropped his phone.
So, yeah. I know Range Bro is starting to put out some videos, so
Yeah, hopefully you'll have one coming up pretty soon. We worked on one today, so hopefully you'll have one soon here.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah, man, y'all need to check him out. Give him a follow, subscribe, man, help him out.
I know I'm subscribed to him.
Cool, man. Appreciate it.
So
Yeah, if you haven't followed me on Instagram, man, I just posted a giveaway, so y'all check those out. Check that out too, and then
oh yeah, I haven't been on Instagram at all today, so maybe I'll head over there after a while.
so anything else new?
In discussions with the wife of her getting a new revolver.
Oh yeah, what kind?
She's been looking at a Ruger 38 special.
Okay.
So I see we have Jerry Parker, Delray Dan, and Echo out in the crowd. So welcome everybody. So yeah.
How's the ammo prices over there?
The ammo hasn't been like too horrible. It's just we don't have much.
It's gone down over here, so
I really haven't been out, scouring trying to find any ammo.
yeah.
I picked up 2 boxes of some American Eagle.
Yeah.
I think it's 55 grain 223 XM. So
yeah,
and those were 12 or 13 bucks a box.
that's not bad.
For the green tips.
Yeah, 9mm has come down $10 over here, so that's good. Finally.
Yeah, I'm seeing it online for around about 55 to 60 cents a round.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it needs to go down some more.
Delray said he scored 2 boxes of 308 and a box of buckshot at Walmart today.
Nice.
I don't even go to Walmart. I don't know.
I haven't checked my Walmart to see if they have any ammo, so I don't know.
One thing I ever caught over there was number 22.
Oh, yeah. Well, 22s?
Everybody definitely needs at least one 22 in their life.
Oh, yeah.
So, Foss, you got some videos coming up?
I keep thinking I'm gonna do some videos and just never quite do any videos. So I want to do. I was gonna do one on the Smith & Wesson Model 360 Survival. And then also I got Hogue grips for that 360, which makes it so much better to shoot because it's with 357 being scandium. It is so damn light. It is so damn snappy.
I bet.
But yeah, so hopefully I'll get around to doing that.
So, has your range opened up and let you take people in yet?
Yeah, well, turns out they opened back up like months ago, but I never got the email saying that. I got the email saying when they stopped letting guests come, but never got the email that said I could bring guests again. But yeah, I've taken a couple people, did a couple videos and taken somebody tomorrow.
Yeah. Shit, it's not even that far of a drive.
No, it's like 10 minutes.
One of these times, if we get a weekend, I'll have to come up and we can do a couple videos together.
Yeah.
Maybe do a challenge video.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, you come out. Dinner's on me.
We can do a carry pistol challenge video. See which one of us, since we both shoot 40, see which one of us can do better.
Oh, you're on.
Wow. So Delray Dan says that he doesn't have a 22 rifle or any revolvers, but if there was one revolver to buy, what should I get? Ooh, that's a loaded question. I mean, there's so many damn nice revolvers out there.
Yeah, that's a toughie. I would say it depends mostly on how much you want to spend. Because there's great options in all budget ranges.
Yeah. I mean, going with like a Heritage Rough Rider, a nice little 22, great little revolver to plink with. Plus, you can get the 22 Magnum revolver cylinder to go in there. So
all this revolver talk scared off Carolina.
he says under $1,000. Oh wow, there is
There's lots of options.
I mean, I think you can pick up a Smith & Wesson 686 for under $1,000, which is a 357 38. You've got pretty much any Ruger, even some of their performance lines are going to be under $1,000.
The Taurus. I love my Taurus 65, and it's more affordable, we'll say. But 629. If you want to go big.
I know. I mean,
SP 101.
You can pick up, I believe, you could, if you really want to go big, you could pick up a Smith & Wesson 500. I mean, that'd be pushing $1,000. I believe they're right around $960, $980 for some of the 500s. Oh, see, DJ, there's going to be a twist, and you're going to have to wait till you see the video to find out what the twist could be. So I believe I sent Wheeled and Well Armed a link, so he has the ability. No, see, Chiapas are nice for like looking at. The practicality of them, not real sure.
I've heard they shoot softer because they fire from the bottom cylinder,
Yeah,
so it's a lower
4-axis.
4-axis. I've never shot one, and they're kind of fugly, I think.
Yeah, they are, but that in your barrel is like lower, so it's like your barrel is in direct alignment with your top cylinder. I believe it is, but you really have to be careful of not burning yourself.
I don't think that's a huge problem if you've got a good revolver grip. I mean, that's the kind of grip I use all the time, is a kind of thumbs over. I don't use a thumbs forward grip. I use more of a revolver holding grip, which I've had people comment, what the hell kind of grip are you using? But that's just what I learned with, and that's what I'm comfortable with, and I'm fine with it.
So he asks, are there any revolvers in 10 millimeter? Yeah, there's quite a few 10 millimeter revolvers out there. 2A Dave says, everyone tells me the 686 is a great revolver. It is, but both Taurus and Ruger make comparable 357s that are almost half the price. So, if you want to go for just the name, yeah, the 686 Smith & Wesson, you're not going to be able to say, hands down, it's going to be name recognition. But just straight out of the box price point, you're going to have, a less initial cost getting into a Ruger or a Taurus. And they all have great warranties. So yeah. Somebody's out there giving Kingpin a bad time. I was G-Webs.
Yeah, I think revolvers are great. The single action on a revolver is really hard to beat.
Oh yeah, most single actions are 2-3 pound.
Yeah, and they're just cool.
Yep. So let me pull up a new window and I will find some.
Yeah, Delray Dan said he bought a 50 Beowulf pistol, but doesn't have anywhere to shoot it.
So you got for a 10 mil. Let me share the screen. So you've got over here, you've got a Smith & Wesson 610. You've got the Ruger GP100. So, I mean, you've got a few different revolvers. I mean, look at this. The Super Red Hawk. I mean, that just looks... And it's already tapped for if you want to put a scope on there. So, I mean, you've got a course, but that's going to be like 2,500, $3,000 probably.
Yeah, but they're so sexy.
Yeah, I'm, I'm not going to argue. Going with a course 10 mil would be, but yeah, I mean, you got a lot of different options out there for some 10 millimeter, and you know, some nice. They're all nice looking. So I'm pretty sure even Chiappa does a 10 mil. I know they do a 40. So if they, you know, so yeah, you got some different options out there. I mean, there's a Cimarron. They had this in a 10 mil. So he says he's going to look at that Ruger and the Red Hawk. I mean, they're definitely nice.
Yeah, the answer Kingpin. I don't mind the gutter sights. I don't have a problem with them.
DJ Play Nice says 10 millimeter Cimarron. That's cowboy crazy. Yeah, I mean, so yeah. Echo's talking about the Ruger GP100. 10 millimeter Cinnabon. So, I well, think
Introducing Schwab Intelligent Income, a simple, modern way to pay yourself for your portfolio. Schwab,
got a little surprise. So, I am going to give away one pack. Whoever wins will get to choose between Hug-a-Fud or the CCDL patch. And then I will be throwing in just a random mini flag patch that I choose. And of course, you'll get one of my channel stickers. So I'm gonna hit the randomizer and let's see what happens.
Why don't you give that to Keith Gregory?
Can do. So, congrats, Keith. I do believe I have your email. If not, go ahead and email me with your address, and I will get that out in the mail. So, I figured I would do just a random giveaway. So, I know right now they're having a gun show in Nampa, Idaho. And
Where's Nampa?
It's right before you get to Boise.
Oh, okay.
On 80, Interstate 80. What's that other city right there by Boise, woman? Yeah, it might have been Caldwell. But yeah, it's before Boise on Interstate 80. So, yes. So, I am on IG. It is G23.40life. And it should have the same of the channel logo over there. So it should be they're playing Frank Sinatra's New York, New York in the background because the wife's watching the Belmont Stakes. Have to mute so I don't get a channel strike. Okay, I'll just run the risk. I don't care. I know you're gonna do your wild and crazy over the night show tonight. Yeah, any specific topic you're gonna kind of touch on, or are you just gonna go random, all crazy?
Just kind of random. I didn't have a set topic.
That could go south real quick. You could end up doing something like this. You gonna have any co-hosts with you, or
Yeah, I should. Silas Greenback. He's got my other names, but I think that's what he's going with now. So
well, we think New York dropped his friggin' phone in the hot tub. I mean, there is no confirmation of that, but
he said he lost the audio, but
yeah.
didn't say why he lost the audio.
I mean, you put two and two together. His phone was next to the hot tub, and then he lost his audio. So I threw the link out there if anyone wants to jump on and bring up any topics. I really don't have anything. Rich does bring up a good point there. That could be a possibility. You know, brown chicken, brown cow. Last I think it was an Android from like the first generation, possibly second generation. Ooh, so AK Lover says your thoughts on Glock 20 versus Glock 29. So full size versus compact.
I didn't like the feel of the compact, and I love my G20.
Yeah, a full size. Definitely, you're not going to be able to conceal it real easy if you know that's what kind of what you're going after. But Sig pretty much only makes friggin' 9 mil, so 10 millimeter is the best millimeter. But 40 cal for life.
Yeah, I just got a stainless guide rod for my G20 with the red on it.
Yeah, I run that tungsten guide rod in my 23. I do like it. It has that little extra weight. Even running a stock plastic guide rod, I don't really find that it's like snappy or anything. It's all manageable. But I figured putting that tungsten in there, if I was going to run a red dot on there, would help, you know. But I don't even. I have the rock slide, and pretty much that's just for being at the range. It's not on for my EDC, so so yeah.
Yeah, I got it mainly just so I could, because it's got the red on the front. Is this on the G20, the stock recoil setup is all metal. It's got a dual spring setup. The replacement I got is a single, so I'll take it to the range and see how it runs.
I mean, it should, because you can, if you have a Gen 4, you can put a Gen 3 guide rod in there. They make the little end cap that fits in so that it, the Gen 3 guide rod will work right in there. So you'd go to a single captured.
Well, that's what it kind of looks like. It is, because it fits like it should fit. So I figured when I go to the range, I'll take the stock spring with me, and just in case there's problems. But it's the right weight spring, so I don't think it should be a problem.
Yeah. So AK Lover says, "Are you carrying your G20?"
I don't, and it's mainly because it's a striker fire. Everything I carry is hammer fired, but it's been relegated to my to go with my plate carrier. So I've when I finish getting everything set up, it'll go with that. Yeah, Kingpin. That's when I bought it. I bought it because I knew I wanted to play with it. If I was, well, I wanted one gun that I could throw a bunch of junk and tart it up and make it look fancy-ish. It's one of the reasons I bought it.
I figured I'd talk a little trash out there. We could say the same thing about ARs. And there we go. A little too close to home there, but isn't it?
The nice thing about the ARs is you can add, accessories to it without using a welder or a grinder.
The thing is the AK doesn't need accessories. It's gonna go bang every damn time.
Yes, it will, and it will get somewhere near the target.
I'm just saying, it can't be that bad when almost all the rest of the world produces them. And you know what? America is starting to produce them.
That's because of communism. It's the reason it's everywhere. It's cheap, and the Soviet Union flooded as much of the world as they could. So if you support communism, go ahead and support that AK-47.
I figured. I think you're probably the only non-AK lover in the group.
Well, I don't hate them. I'm just not into them. I've never shot one. The closest I've shot was a SKS, and that's not an AK.
Nope. Well, true. It is an AKM. Well, now there are the difference between the AKM and you got your stamped and you've got your forged receivers for AKs. I mean, they have different process, so Bald says, can't blame communism on guns. Don't be a gun racist. Oh, AKs will reach out past 200 yards. Had to get the chat riled up. So, see if we get any. And Scott79 says, my SA 93 arsenal is milled, therefore it is an AK 47 Type 3. He says, if I'm in a gunfight, I will grab an AK. Even though I built an AR, if I had to put my life on the line on which gun I was going to grab, it would be the AK, honestly. Kingpin says, what is easier to convert to full auto, AK or AR? Since I am not going to be breaking any kind of laws, I have zero idea which would be easier.
I don't know. I don't know.
The fact that the AK has less actual parts.
Well, you could just bend up a coat hanger for an AR.
Rich says, the only AK format firearm I currently own is a Vepr 12. So,
I think that's what I almost bought one time.
a Vepr 12 shotgun?
Yep. I saw it and kind of was infatuated with it. Went home, thought about it, came back, it was gone. So,
It wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I keep telling the wife. if that 38 is meant to be hers, it will be there next time. And we've been to 2 different stores, and there's been Ruger 38 specials in the stores, and so maybe next time she'll get it. See, I don't want to buy her the revolver if there's no ammo on the shelf to go with it, right? What's the point of having the revolver?
Well, you can say that with a lot of guns right now.
I could have picked up a Ruger 5.7 today. They had 5.7 ammo on the shelf.
Oh, that's one that just doesn't. I've never,
I'm not,
yeah, I have never seen one in person, but it just doesn't interest me.
they had a couple different 5.7s in there. There were like 3 different 5.7s pistols in there, and they had quite a bit of 5.7 by 28 ammo right there on the shelf. So, I mean, it was there, but I think the wife would have probably kicked my ass if I would have went and bought another gun before she gets her revolver in 38. I mean, y'all would have loved to have seen the video of her kicking my ass. So I see we have Patriot in the Dark out there, Fiend Dog 27. I'm not sure if I already said Bald and Curious, but he is out there. Andrew Faulkner is out there. I think it's time for you to take your pills, woman.
The Patriots trying to help you out.
Right? But see, he says rusty AKs. No rusty AKs here. So, everybody in the chat is telling me that I should buy you that Ruger.
What you think?
They're saying free the Ruger. I mean, it was only $300.
Give the Ruger a loving home.
It was like it was like $300. Yeah, the 5.7 is the Ruger 5.7 is a nice looking, but I don't know. I think it's more of a gimmick gun, for my opinion. No, no. Yeah. reading the comments. So yeah. Scott says a 5.7 Ruger PC charger would be interesting and probably get me to buy one.
Yeah, that would be more interesting to me.
Which model Ruger? I don't remember. It's a 38 special.
It's got a barrel and some cylinders.
Yeah, it's got a barrel in. I want to say it was. I know it was stainless. I don't think it was a SP101. Maybe it was. You know, now I'm going to have to go back to the store and look at it. It was a bobbed hammer. It was stainless. Trying to see if I can find an image of one. Yeah, I'm not. Patriot in the Dark says, if the woman wants any firearm, it is your duty to fulfill her needs. I think it is a rule somewhere. I will pull up there. It might be. I don't think it was the LCR. Yeah, I'll have to go back to the store. Yes, see, that's the thing. It's the wife automatically thinks that all the guns in the house are hers, no matter what they are. So I guess, it wasn't polymer; it was a stainless, and the hammer was bobbed off. I mean, there was no. So
Sounds kind of like an LCR.
yeah, but it was stainless. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't black or polymer. It was so. I looked on there, and who knows? They could have had that damn thing mislabeled. I didn't actually hold the firearm and look at it, so I just saw the tag and decided I needed to walk away before the wife saw it. Defense dad says he's got 2 more hours at work. Sounds like a long day. Since he's been up since the butt crack of dawn. So, you have anything? Any topics there, Foss?
Nope.
Should we discuss why the wife doesn't deserve a 38 special?
So, do you remember the barrel, what the underlug looked like?
No. It was a quick glance.
A dismissive glance.
It was a very dismissive glance. Crap, who let the snob run wild?
Somebody left the gate open. He wandered out.
So, let's try to rally as many people as we can to make an Every Second Matters video for next month. So, July 2nd. I think that should be possible. Snob says he's hanging with Gizzard today. So absolutely nothing is being done, is what I'm hearing.
He's probably helping him move.
Snob's probably sitting in his truck and he probably has his helper there making his helper do all the work. And his helper would be his son. So I see we have CB in the crowd. Welcome. Another fellow Oregonian. Mad Sexy is out there again. I have not been on Instagram today, so I haven't seen crap. Not sure who Snob's directing that comment to, but he said you're right on the money. So I'm guessing it's to me about him sitting on his butt making his kid do all the work. Which, I mean, that's the reason why you have kids. I can see that that's the only benefit to having kids. I mean, if there's any other benefit to having kids, please tell me in the comment section how I'm wrong. So, even Snob agrees. See, I used to think that too, CB, that it was a tax write-off, but your ROI is way off. So, I mean, for the tax write-off, you still have to have the rest of your return on investment. So, to offset that, I mean, you're going to be spending way more in like feeding them, clothing them, and putting a roof over their head than that that write-off is going to give you a credit for. So the tax write-off isn't worth the reward. So unless it's for slave labor, that's it. But I can guarantee I will have 0 kids. So see, no one has made any point out there. Defense Dad got close, but still doesn't make me want to have a kid. So that, and the wife says it's too late. I already took the bullets out of the gun. Right? See, Kingpin makes a great point on why you don't want to have kids. The good news is, if you don't have any kids, it's like a 99% chance Joe Biden won't come around you.
Nighthawk Medic's out there.
Whoa! Nighthawk, what is
Hope
going
you're
on,
doing
bud?
good. I miss you. Miss having you around.
I know. I sent him the link last week, hoping he would so I posted the link back out there if anybody wants to jump on and tell me how much of an asshole I am. So, yeah, Medic, I know everybody's been concerned about about you, and so all been missing your energetic videos. So I see we got Moo out there. Hell, Moo isn't even jumping on the link. That's kind of crazy. Mad Sexy says, "What is going on, brother? Are you there, medic?"
Yeah, I'm here. How are you boys?
Not bad at all. Long time no hear.
Yeah, it's been a little crazy, but I'm here.
I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here. What's been cooking?
Not a whole hell of a lot. I mean, we got a nice 2A win out here in California, so
Boy, did we.
glad that we have Benitez on the bench because he's definitely putting some little spurs into California and to the rest of the West Coast.
Well, that's going to go through the Ninth Circuit and all the way up to the Supreme Court before anything's settled. So I'm still waiting.
That's what I think.
But the one great thing he did do is that he put an injunction on them being able to enforce the AWB.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so even though there's still a stay on there, the injunction against the enforcement will still stand. So,
yeah, I think some of us are old enough to remember that the first assault rifle ban probably didn't have any real effect on the population. I'm not sure that the Democrats are twice going to really die on this beach. I think they're probably going to run everything through the ATF because they're starting to figure out that everything that Barry did got wiped out, everything that Trump did has gotten wiped out, and everything that Biden will do will get wiped out unless they run it through one of these agencies like the ATF. You're not going to shut down the Second Amendment to the Constitution unless you own every house. And 2022, we'll see how that works out for them because typically it doesn't. So I think they're going to use the ATF and they're going to leverage more presidential edicts to try to do damage.
They might, but if you look at what, with the 6th district ruling that the ATF had no foundation and no legal standing on changing and making bump stocks machine guns. So, yeah, that's going to go up against the Supreme Court also. And, right now, I think as long as you're in the 6th district, you're able to actually have bump stocks.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting. Well, nobody's making bump stocks. Who knows of a company currently making bump stocks? I could be wrong about that. I think they successfully killed that.
Well, they were, even when they were being made, I think they were more novelty kind of things. I honestly don't know a single person that I have shooken hands with who has ever had a bump stock.
Oh, you can't hit anything with them. It's like sticking your thumb through your belt loop.
Right? You know,
There's probably a guy out here who's better than I am who could pull it off, though. Here's G-Webs. I bet he can do it.
I never tried shooting one, or at least not whatever. I don't think that one. We tried. Maybe we did. We took some kind of stock out whenever they first came out and compared it with just a regular M16. And I don't know if you've ever done that. You can regular person can shoot an AR-15 faster than an M16 can cycle. So
absolutely.
So those stocks require you to fiddle. Like it's sort of like I guess I don't ride a skateboard anymore, but like the difference between riding a skateboard or riding one of them scooters with that's a skateboard with handles on it.
Yeah.
It's it'd be like the difference there. They're similar but not quite the same. So it's like that. But when we took them out, we took out some kind of trigger, and I don't care, so I don't remember. But this was years ago. And then probably some kind of a stock, and it may have been a bump stock or something similar, and then an M16. And we wanted to see which was better. And then a Geisley or something. Just people don't realize, but a real trigger is the difference between a Ferrari and a Toyota. There is a difference in triggers. So with a Geisley trigger and somebody who shoots, like a Geisley just works good. Just the way a good knife would work good, and you're carving and you're trying to carve with like a garbage knife and like a nice knife. You're going to carve a better product probably with a nice knife. So with a Geisley and somebody who's used to it, who can run it, then and that just takes 15 minutes. It's not like you have to be a pro to run a Geisley. It's just once you figure it out, you're like, oh wow, I don't have to even put any effort into this. I can just like kind of will the trigger to work, and it works. So
2-pound trigger.
I don't know. It wasn't super. It's just that they're nice. Anyway, so a regular person just pulling a trigger on AR-15 was basically as fast as some of the other ones because you had to kind of pull on them weird. Yeah. But to just get consistent noise out of them, you can definitely have more. Like a regular person can just walk up and make noise out of them. You can also shoot the shell like a watermelon or just some hanging steel or something and have fun. So I mean, you're allowed to have fun recreationally. And if you're putting like a binary trigger on something that you can afford the ammo on, or that's fun or controllable recoil, or a gun that's not gonna overrun it or whatever, then why not? You're allowed to have fun. It's fun to shoot. But if you just want to be effective shooting fast, just learn to shoot an AR fast good, and then you can shoot like controllable amount of rounds you want with an AR-15. And you listen to any of these stories from dudes that went over and did business, they never flipped a full auto.
We never went to the fun switch. You're exactly right. Your prior service, aren't you, G-Webs?
Yeah, but I never did nothing.
Yeah, the only time we did fun switches was range duty.
I mean, I imagine if you had to hold something up over your head and just make noise to get like cover fire, or just something like, use the thing as a tool for noise or something, or to shoot a bunch of holes in a wall or something, like it's nice to have the switch, but you never used it really. But the thing is, if you did, like I'm sure Marines have ordered and figured out how to shoot 3-round bursts really effectively into a postage stamp or something, but whatever, the bump stock and stuff it's like a pogo stick or a skateboard or something. You got to learn how to work it. Once you know how to work it, you can be a master of it. But I don't think too many people have bothered. It's just such a clunky thing. It's more like, hey, look what I got. Or like on the 4th of July and you want to make some noise. Look what I got.
It's like one of those 37mm flare launchers. They're fun to use for fireworks, but they don't have a lot of practical usage. The smoke grenades they make for them suck.
Okay, well, I would say yeah, except for if Red Dawn or SH2F or something, then you've got an effective delivery thing for useful stuff. And that can be smoke and stuff, or just making noise over there. I mean, making noise really far away so that everybody doesn't know where you're at is just effective. You don't need to have grenades and shit in there. So those launchers can be cool, and they're super fun. Yeah, on the 4th of July, they're super fun. I was also going to say, but just holding a gun, any semi-auto really, but a semi-auto with enough recoil so that it's effective. An AK is super easy. AR is easy. What you're talking about with the thumb, with the belt loop or whatever, putting your thumb in your pocket and bump firing that way, like that was useful, I think, on the old wooden guns where you had recoil impulse that wasn't like whatever the balance is or the fulcrum, like literally wasn't enough to bounce the gun around. You had to kind of pull on your pocket, and you had to kind of use your body or your pants or something there was creating a little extra tension. And you could get like a Mini 14 to go that way, bump fire. And it's easier for like just your regular old somebody to figure that out. You just stick your thumb in your pocket, your pants, push your gun against it, and it makes your gun go off really fast. And like you say, it just sprays all over. But if you pull a gun up to your shoulder like normal, hold your right hand, assuming you're regular handed, not left handed. Those people can figure it out themselves. But you hold your gun up normal, and now put your right hand like if you got paralyzed, right? Like if Medusa looked at your right hand and now it's paralyzed, and now leave everything else the same and pull your left hand, your forearm forward, and your gun is going to start bump firing. Yep. And once you figure out how to do that, you can effectively kick the shit out of a watermelon with all like 30 round mag. That was a lot easier back in the day when it didn't cost you an arm and a leg.
I bump fired my Vepr that way one time with the hook, index finger hook, and just resting your hand on the side of the pistol grip.
Just kind of pull your gun forward, and it's going to bump. And you can get 2 or 3 rounds, and then eventually you'll get to figure out how to drop a whole mag. And then you'll be like, wow, that was fun. And then you'll be like, wow, that cost me like whatever 1,000 rounds of ammo costs.
That's $60 for no accuracy.
No, you can make watermelon size. I mean, I think it's a useful thing to learn how to do. I mean, it's useful. I mean, you can, you got to go pop into a watermelon. You can do it, or into anything the size of a watermelon if necessary. It's worthwhile. You can't. I mean, you could do it with a 1022 or something, I guess, but it's a little tougher with little tiny recoils.
I guess you could use it for suppressive fire in that instant. It would work just fine for that.
May have to try that. So,
back in the day, we would take a box of steel case out to teach somebody how to bump fire, and then somewhere around 500 rounds, they figured it out, and then you'd spend the rest of the case, figuring it out and playing with it. And then you never really did it too much because think about it, you just ran 1,000 rounds through your barrel, so it gets all hot. Mm-hmm. Most people don't do that stuff, so they're like, my barrel got all hot. And if it smokes or something, then they're like, oh, my barrel caught on fire, or my barrel's broken, or like, what did I do? So most people don't like to get their gun that worn or whatever. But if you don't care, back in the day, nobody cared. A gun was not that expensive. Back in the day, you'd make one, and then 1,000 rounds of 7.62 was like $70. So you'd shoot 1,000 rounds through it every weekend.
God, can you remember getting gripey about $109 for 1,000 rounds of 9mm?
We drive all the way to Phoenix. Go, what? $100, and then come home swearing and not buy it. You'd be like, we're buying it in Tucson next weekend for $89. No, we were paying $100 for 1,000 rounds of ammo.
Yeah.
Kingpin says, I will bump fire 338 Lapua if G23 bumps 50 BMG.
Christ almighty.
I'm pretty sure I've seen people do that on a Barrett. I'm sure Barrett can do it.
You go ahead and pick the location, you bring the rifles and ammo, and I will definitely do the 50 BM.
Bump fire for pink slips. You both got to bring a gun. You both got to bump fire, and then the best bump fire walks home with both guns. That's the thing.
Rich says, make him bump fire 20mm.
I don't know. I was raised one shot, one kill.
Yeah.
Although I've gotten into training systems, laser training systems here recently. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah. Do you have the Mantis X system?
I do, as a matter of fact.
I've been procrastinating on getting one of those. I was thinking about getting like the Mantis system because I also know they have like a university setup or whatever where they do different kind of training drills that they they have through their system?
I just got started 2 days ago with it. It came with cards for different systems to add on, and one of them is that CO2 recoil system. So I've ordered the CO2 recoil system and about 20 CO2 cartridges.
Now,
And go ahead.
depending on which firearm you're going to put that on, you could have probably saved a little money and gotten, I think it's a Dragon Mag or whatever, but it has the spring in the mag to reset your striker. So and it's all done like with your magazine and everything.
Oh, I bought the CO2 system because my wife has developed a flinch while we were down, so I figured it'd be a good way of untraining her.
No, that might help.
Here's a tip so you don't have to keep buying CO2 cartridges all the time. Whenever you get a spent one, it's going to have that hole in the tip. Otherwise, it's perfectly good. So just blow in there really hard until you've built up a lot of pressure and hold your thumb over the hole. And then get a solder gun real hot and just put a little bead of solder on there. Move your hand real fast and put a little bead of solder, and then you got a perfectly good one to go right away.
Thank you for that, G-Webs. I appreciate it.
Use them over and over and over. Here's the thing. Don't burn your thumb when you're putting the soldering iron.
I appreciate that safety briefing. Let's see. Mad Sexy wants to know, when out in the field, just protecting property, what would you prefer for a battle rifle? Full auto, single shot, or burst, or any battle rifle? I want an M4 carbine. But I guess it depends on what I anticipate the threat being. What about you guys?
So if I'm out just like protecting property and everything, even if I don't know if you need a full auto or if you even need 3-round burst. Probably going with like an AK-74. 47s are nice, but I don't know. The 74 definitely has a faster rate of fire if you know what you're doing.
Sexy, I know the M4 carbine pretty well, and I'm comfortable with it. And if I'm going to have to defend any area, it's lightweight, it's easy to maneuver, it's got a respectable rate of fire, it's accurate. You can carry a ton of ammunition for it. I mean, most of us carry an AR-15 as a part of our home defense plan in a similar configuration as the M4 carbine, just typically with a longer barrel.
So, Foss, what rifle would you pick?
Well, I have never shot anything other than just semi-auto, so that's what I know. That's what I have. That's what I'd use.
Shit, we gotta get you to down here. There's a range in Eugene where we can rent some full autos. Have a little fun with some full auto.
Yeah, I'd like to do it sometime, just to experience it.
I fired an MP18 the other day. It was a lot of fun.
So, Mr. G-Webs, what would your suppressive fire rifle be? Full auto, 3-round burst, semi-auto, and what caliber?
That's a weird. I'm not a Marine or something, so I wouldn't have a suppressive fire thing, so I don't know. But it wouldn't be any of those things except for semi-auto, just for everything they said, in 30 caliber. But what Voss said is earlier about not shooting an AK before. The thing about an AK, which is cool, is that mass of the bolt carrier, right? Bolt carrier slides back and forth, and it's near your cheek, goes forward to your kind of back and forth across your cheek, right? It goes from like your eye to your neck, I guess, depending on how you're holding it and where your eyes are on it. So, and that's, I mean, it's a ratio to the percentage of the mass of the gun. So the recoil impulse of an AK is completely different than that of like an AR, which is also different than any of the older guns, which are just a big piece of timber with some metal on top of it and barely any mass moving. And it does move. It's way up front in your hands. So both of those guns are an experience. I highly recommend, if you get a chance, to shoot them and not just pull the trigger, but to experience holding that 9 pounds of wood and metal. And that's a taco shell with some pieces of wood attached to it with a screw, or a rivet or whatever. And that way that it wiggles and the way that the mass moves inside of that big 9 pound mass is neat. And the AR is the opposite. It's a bunch of plastic with aluminum and some stainless steel tubes in there. And you've got a little tiny mass. It's kind of moving in the same place, but it's a smaller mass compared to the gun. And it's happening in a very linear thing. All AR is happening like a giant piece of pipe in your, between your shoulder and your front hand. So it's just a totally different recoil impulse. So that's some of the stuff I try to experience when I'm shooting a new gun. And then, of course, the mechanisms that are happening. There's 34, 40 something parts in an AK, or the stupid AR, a lot of stupid parts. So, and the way that they move and interchange and the dwells and everything is all part of the experience. So when you shoot some old goofy gun, that's part of it. It's like a cigar or wine or something, cheese. Some people are just going to eat it and be like, oh yeah, I ate Swiss cheese. I ate some other kind of cheese. Other people are going to, eat it slow and get all those weird dairy flavors and nuts and whatever they get out of it. And that's the kind of stuff I like out of shooting rifles.
Yeah. I still like shooting my old Lee Enfields just because they're wood and steel, wood and iron guns.
And I never got into those, but you can get into bolt actions, like how you move the bolt, right? Like if you can, I don't know what they do, but they can do things with their fingers where they just ride the bolt and don't even touch the trigger, and their one finger is just kind of on the bolt and fiddles the trigger as it's moving. It's kind of neat. And I never got into all that. You know what I'm saying? Like the World War II people, they'll listen to their grandpas tell them like, oh, if you want to shoot that gun fast, watch this. Kind of like lever actions. They could put a little knot in some wood and a little piece of leather in a lever action and make it basically effectively, a lever gun. Like you literally just pull the lever and the gun's going off, right?
Yep. Mossberg used to make I think it was Mossberg made a thumb trigger, like a push button trigger. It was where the safety would normally be.
Well, I've seen levers that have a little thingy that you toggle, and then when you toggle it, every time you close the lever, the gun goes off.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, I guess it would have to have a full lock to go off, so it'd be no different than pulling a trigger. That's cool.
It just flips the trigger. When you close the lever, it flips the trigger. So it is just flip. It's just that when you close the trigger, there's like a little toggle in the trigger guard, and then when you close the lever, it trips the trigger. So yeah, you better have it pointed where you want when you do that.
That's cool.
So I see Mr. Rob D may have gotten his phone working again.
Yeah, to jump to the other one. I don't know. That one might be shot. The steam might have killed it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, saying there's headphones plugged in when there's not, so the speakers aren't running through. Or running through Bluetooth, because I don't use the headphone jack. But I don't know. I'll deal with it later. But yeah, I was shocked I missed Nighthawk here. I heard that voice and I was like, wait a minute, could it be? Wait a minute. So my goodness, good to hear you, buddy.
It's good to be on here, man. the wife went down to see the little niece and nephew, and I said, I'm going to do something I want to do tonight. No harm, no foul. I'm not making any videos. I'm not wearing myself out, so this is fun.
Yeah. Do you mind if I ask why you took down your YouTube?
I couldn't stop, man. The temptation's too great to continue, and I've got a few health things going on that are problematic, and
Okay.
I really shouldn't be spending a lot of time doing things that aren't getting better and you know, going through my regular daily activities. And
Yeah.
so I took the doctor's advice and removed all external issues. And so I killed my YouTube channel. It's the smartest way out.
Well, whatever is right for you. I know there's a lot of shotguns I didn't see other places that you had there, so it seems like it might be a little bit of a loss on the community's part, but obviously you got to do what's right for you. So just glad you're still with us, and you know, everything's glad you're here, put it that way.
Oh yeah, I'm just as ornery as ever, brother. You sound good. How's the lady and the babies?
Doing well. They're up getting ready to go out to dinner here after a day at the lake, and then we're just swimming and in the pool, and now we're going out to dinner shortly. So they're having a good time, tired of being stuck in the house. And technically it's I guess you could say my birthday weekend, so they were getting out and getting stuff done, I guess.
Happy birthday. I'll get you a dick pic right over. Hang on just a second.
I missed you, but not that much, buddy. Thank you, though.
Let's see.
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt your whatever you guys were into. I know I've been out for a little while. I had to pop in the shower and whatnot, but figure out the phone thing. I just want to make sure I at least popped in to say hi to Medic. So I'll be quiet now and maybe catch up to the conversation with you guys.
You make a good conversation, man. We're not talking about anything.
Yeah, I don't say you're always welcome to speak your mind here.
Well, in that case, you dirty, rotten son of a...
I mean, we know who the cheap bastard is when they use their own code to save themselves 15%.
That's high intelligence, is what that is.
So,
right, man.
Not sure if you've caught any of the new stuff that's going on, but Rob D is making some kick-ass AR displays, and he just started making some Glock displays.
No, I'll have to go give that a look. I've done very little gun-related stuff over the last few months, so I haven't seen much of anything. I will have to go check that out.
Yeah, he's got rnldisplays.com.
Yeah, I'll see if I can. I should have a picture here. I'll see if I can dig it up for you.
Thank you, buddy.
Hey,
well, don't full screen me yet. I gotta find it.
You doing all right respiratory wise, Medic? You sound a little different.
Yeah, okay. I have some breathing issues.
Okay, so wasn't sure if it was a mic or something else. All right.
No, I collapsed part of one of my lungs, and it's been a long road back.
Well, sorry to hear that, man. I'm sure that wasn't a pleasant deal.
Definitely take care of your health, so there, bud. We need to keep you around here for a couple more days.
Yeah, this show started sucking after you left for a couple of shows. No.
No, Jesus
It just changed the atmosphere. Nobody knew what to do around here. No. Just messing.
Don't be mean. Oh man, that's a hell of a display. That is a hell of a display. I love that thing, man. That's awesome.
And if he's, if he zoomed in right here, there's an American flag on the.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think this finish is gorgeous. It looks even better in person.
Yeah,
gun stock.
Don't really color over those natural colors and contours in wood. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, some gun stock stain with 4 coats of polyurethane on top. I think it does look pretty good, but I assume all us gun guys like it because it's gun stock. It looks like, reminds us of a gun probably. So at least to me anyway. So
yep.
It's also a black, which you can still see the grain through. It's black stain or whatever to kind of match rifles. They come with felt foot pads, Velcro for name tape, or morale patches. That can be placed right on the front area there. Let's see, hardware, and also has a wall mount. So basically you can move that mag off a desk mount and slap it on the wall, or take it off the wall and slap it back on a desk mount. That's the idea.
Here's one of the black ones.
Oh, that's remarkably attractive.
Yeah, there's some. If you check the website out, there's some other. You'll probably see some of his pictures on there, but some other people's pictures up there as well. Different firearms. So
rifles not bad either.
Seen one online that was spit out plastic, that 3D printed stuff, and man, I was not thrilled with it.
Yeah.
Some other guy purchased it, had his logo printed on it or whatever, and it honestly just looked kind of cheesy to me. So one day I just figured, let me run down and see what I could figure out, because I thought it would be neat. Ended up coming up with that idea, basically. So
how could the 3D printed one even be strong enough for a rifle?
I don't know. I mean, I can't state it's printed. It just looked like it was that, ejection molded plastic. It was really rough, like wavy looking.
You can.
I don't know.
Unless it's
huge. I've got
enough plastic.
I've got one around here. It's honeycombed. The one I have around here, it's just not very pretty. It's pink plastic, but it's honeycombed in the magazine area. You could stand on the thing.
Oh, it can be strong enough? I would think.
Yeah.
Wood's still got to be way stronger, though. Or real wood.
Wood absolutely is going to be stronger than that, but it has a steel rod that comes through the center of the magazine, and then the magazine itself is a honeycomb, and the base of it is solid, and the magazine slides into the steel rod support area, so it's not completely the poly.
I've seen those for fixing guns, but they'll have metal to do the work, and then plastic just fills the space, right?
Yeah. I've got one of those too. I can't remember the manufacturer of it. It's a sled.
So, welcome, Lakeview Outdoors, Vanessa Kitty, Mr. F&H, M. Gabriel, Mad Sexy. I don't remember if I said hello to him. I think that's everybody. So,
yeah, I'm actually looking at one of those right now, Rob.
Ah,
That's a good
well,
idea.
he's got the G23's got a code there, so
Yep. You use code G23, you get 15% off.
And G23 gets a kickback.
I wish.
I like it.
I didn't broker that into the deal.
you never know.
So, without saying exactly who, out of all the promo codes that you have out there, is there one channel that's promo code that's been used the most?
Me?
Rob.
No idea.
I was like,
Not
I think it's only been used twice.
this.
I think we've
Which
only had
one?
2 promo codes used.
G23. She's saying she thinks we've only had 2 promo codes used. So there's been a couple people since the code's been around that just chose to pay full price, I guess. So not. I don't know yet, honestly.
I
So,
put codes out all the time, like Patreons and stuff, and nobody ever uses it because they want to support you, so they don't want to say they don't care about saving a buck, right? So that's not uncommon. I don't think.
That's what I did. I chose to pay full price because I'm awesome.
you are awesome.
Well, some people are just cheap bastards.
Yeah, I'd probably use the code myself, but I'm a cheap bastard. So. I do appreciate it, though. I really do.
Oh. Rich White says if you use code PITD, you pay 25% more. So I guess that's the way to give. If you truly care about Rob, you could give him an extra 25%.
I do have more of those Patriot gun stock. I call it Patriot gun stock because it's got the flag on it. I don't even know if she actually marked it that way, but that's what I intended. But they're not in stock right at this moment. So if anybody's like looking at that one, just hold off a day or two because when I get back, I'm just waiting on brackets for those, which I basically have. I just got to, put together a box, all that crap. So basically, I have more of those together for the Glock. If anybody's interested in that one, so. Do have plenty of black though, and a do-it-yourselfer kit.
Wait a minute, an 80% stand? Is that legal?
Let's not ask. No. I know there was one person that purchased one and ended up sanding it down and matching it to their fireplace mantle. So I figured, well, some people may have that same idea, but would rather not go through the process of stripping down polyurethane and all that. So the kits just involve light sanding. All the pieces are there. Holes are drilled. For all the tricky stuff is done. I guess you could say the holes and all that stuff. So there's just light sanding and assembly. I guess paint your brackets whatever color you'd like them. Obviously finish whatever color you'd like your piece, and however you want to go about sealing it, polyurethaning it, or I have no idea what people's intentions are, but that option is available, and it's at obviously a discounted cost because I've got less work into it. So
I'm in process of constructing a way to holster AR-15s in every room in my house. The first couple of experiments that I did were okay, but I think I'm actually going to cut some tactical cases in half and just make them that way, because the shotgun holsters don't work well for rifles.
Got a deer out here.
We talking about
Cut you
those
off.
big padded nylon deals?
They sell some out here that are leather.
Like for a
And,
saddle?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Or you can
okay.
put an
Or-
AR in your saddle.
Or have you seen the things for like a Jeep for an M1 back in the day?
No, I have not. That's an idea.
They make a thing for
another
an
one.
M1. What is it? Deer?
Deer. Yeah, I don't know how close
Yeah.
I can get.
Can you zoom
Got
in?
one there.
Can you zoom?
One's cutting across the field.
Better
See if you
check
can
him for
zoom.
rabies.
See if you can zoom.
Rob,
I'm
you
zooming
know,
on my picture, but I don't think it's zooming for you.
Oh no, it didn't.
Okay.
It looks
Trying
like
to
you're
get-
about 30 yards on him, right?
He's staring right at me.
Act like you're just talking on the phone, and he'll just think you're talking on the phone.
right? I'm not
Can't believe
laughing.
I
Just
can get this close.
I'm
You're
not
like, hey,
laughing.
can you hold this phone for me? I got to do a selfie trick.
I'm not laughing. The damn thing runs up and just kicks Rob.
Dude, don't even say that.
They stand up on
Get
their
my
rear
ass kicked.
hooves.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they stand up on their rear hooves and they punch at you, is what they do.
You can tell that the deer don't even care. Though. He didn't like haul ass away. He was just sitting here.
That's a female.
Well, I got my shield on me. What do you think? Think it's legal?
No.
Only if it starts to attack you, then you can.
It's
see you
coming
have
right
the-
at me.
No, Rob, you're on the internet.
Right. Just kidding, folks. Just kidding. Yeah, better back up. Keep my teeth where they are.
Ah, man. G Webb's good tip, man. That's what I'm basically making. That wouldn't work for the rifle, but that's what I'm essentially making.
Did you see them? Yeah, they
Yeah.
used them in World War II, I guess, for and now probably for you.
But yeah, they make one like that. It's a tactical case designed to hold the AR series. And that's beautiful, though. That's kind of what I will be attempting to make.
So Kingpin says, try these links.
Yeah, I don't have a Garand that I would do that with, but they make there's a local guy here who makes a leather scabbard of sorts for an AR, and I'm going to be taking those, and it's a complete. It covers the whole length of the rifle. I'm going to be having him modify those to be a scabbard instead of a full case. I want to have ARs in 3 rooms of the house.
I see we have Mike out in the crowd and the men at Tupperware. So welcome, guys.
Are you thinking of a scabbard just as like a storage, like pouch in a way, or
Yeah,
something you're actually going to wear and carry around?
Just mounted. Right now, there's different and sundry weapons scattered throughout the house for defensive sets, and I'm a little exhausted of them constantly being in the way. And so, rather than them being in a case, I thought, it'd be handy to have them in a scabbard.
Oh, come on. This is 2021. Get a little robot and then just demand whatever's on it. The robot will bring it over.
Right? Johnny 5, bring the AR.
You got a bunch of little cameras, so you know what's coming. You'd be like, AR, quick. And then it comes over with an AR. Or you'd be like, shotgun. And then it comes over.
Somebody tried to take one of my outdoor cameras the other day. I can't imagine what they do with robots. People are crazy.
Was it Was it close to your house?
Yeah, well, he walked right up and tried to take it off the side of the house.
Got an idea for that, but it's probably not something I should say online. But
Well,
I can put it in the chat.
It was pretty simple. The camera started flashing that there was a movement, and I switched over to the camera, and there was a guy standing there fiddling with the camera. And I hit the little microphone button and had words with him, and he left.
Nice. Well, not nice, but that's a little sketchy.
We live in a pretty nice neighborhood. I guess there's nothing left of nice neighborhoods.
Well, a nice pit bull would have taken care of the problem.
I have a dachshund, man. Katie's motivated, but she's not a killer.
Well, if he ran down a rat hole, then.
Well, what about a situation where you put something slippery by the door, and like a couch, and then what happens is somebody comes in, they don't expect something like that. They fall over into the couch, and then you have like 6 dachshunds just swarm them. And then
I like the swarm. Yeah, gerbil swarm.
It won't be hard to make dachshunds swarm somebody on a couch. They will take that person down.
Dachshunds can be little mean bastards.
Well, the thing is, you'd never be able to finish rubbing all those bellies. So you'd effectively have them in a quagmire, and then you could just take your time to call the police, and then you'd be subdued because he'd have just rubbed a dozen dog bellies. So he's just going to go to jail. Like, not about robbing around.
Katie is actually a working dog. She's an alarm system. Katie doesn't do anything else except for bark when somebody's in the yard or in the driveway. That's what Katie does for a living.
I was listening to Gun Freedom Radio, had Ashley Oblinsky, the girl that ran the Cody Museum for a while.
Yeah.
And now she's like a consultant to museums, and she goes around and she testified before Congress and stuff. So she's got this service dog, and I always see it on her Instagram, and I don't know. It says service dog. I just assume she took the dog to get petted or something, like at a hospital or something. But it's her service dog, and she alluded to it on the show with them, and I guess she was trying to suggest that, like, going up to somebody and being like, "Hey, what's this dog? Why do you have this dog?" is like saying going up to somebody in a chair or somebody with a cane or something and being like, "What's your limp for?" or "Why are you sitting down?" Like, it's like rude, or it's just not appropriate, I guess. So to let people know, like, hey, just you see a dog, it's not like, "Hey, come over here and ask me about my medical life." But she alluded to her dog is like to alert her to some sort of a condition of like her blood or something, and I thought that was super neat. I never even thought about that, but dogs can be thought to be like aware of a diabetic condition or a seizure coming. They can look for like things that a person can do to signal that something's happening. So I want one of them. So I'm going to try to chain this dog so I can bring her with me everywhere. And if that dog senses 9mm around me, I want her to signal to me so I don't have to be around it. And then I get to bring her with me everywhere.
I think that's a fabulous idea.
Like, she could just bark, like, "Bark, bark, 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 bark." If 9mm in the vicinity, then I could know to go away.
That's actually a pretty good idea. I like it.
Because the ATF's got dogs that can sniff serial numbers. I figure I'll get one that can sniff calibers.
Yeah, that I got online and filled out my complaint about the ATF's last push there. And I was reading through that thing. It reads they're starting to figure it out. They probably have pro-gun people employed teaching them how to write those things now.
Have you seen that we have a comment period going on right now?
Yeah. I did that one already. So, I'm trying to figure out what part of Wonderland Alice was just wandering through there. New York, what the hell was on that floor?
Is that a hotel or something?
So,
It looked
yeah,
like it. Oh, okay.
yeah, it was. I think I don't know what the decoration was. It looked like branches or something like that.
Yeah, branches with M&Ms growing on them.
Yeah.
Look kind of like
There
willow
was,
branches.
There was,
Ah,
I forget who the organization was. SHOT Show one year. You know, there's these parties and get-togethers because the industry gets together every year for a long time. So somebody was getting together. I think it was at SHOT Show. I'm almost positive it was like during the week of SHOT Show, and then they were getting together. And anyway, I think what it was is somebody whatever had a picture of this carpet, and long story short is they ended up making like BDUs or armor or something in the pattern of that carpet, and then like a joke or whatever, and then it went all around, and then they could just lay on the carpet of this hotel and be invisible.
I took all my old ACUs and dyed them forest green. It is about some of the best camouflage I've ever owned.
So we have Roro out in the crowd. Welcome. And what was it? Patriot in the Dark says, yes, service dogs have the sign that says, I'm working, do not touch me.
Not always. Sometimes they'll just say service dog, and then sometimes they got all that business going on. I think it's implied not to touch them, but
I don't mess with other people's dogs unless they talk to me.
here's how I feel about it. If I'm sitting there and a dog comes over to me, I'm petting it. And if you don't want a
Yeah.
dog coming over to me and getting pet, then no coming over to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as
Pet the
long
dog.
as if the dog comes and makes nice with me, the dog's going to get left on. That's just the rule.
I control myself if it's somebody else's dog and they're mean to it, I don't let it get petted or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here trying to work on state level pro rights organizations. So anybody got any to throw out there that you're fond of? So I can make sure I got them in my list here. Trying to think of state level ones.
TFA, Tennessee Firearms Association.
Off. OFF, Oregon Firearms Federation.
I mean, I guess I have the national ones over here open too, so any of them I take, I'll take. Just want to make sure I think I have them all, but it's possible to miss them for sure. And this is book software. It's not like internet. Like if it was internet, I could do stuff to make sure I got it, like do searches and stuff, but I don't know how to do that kind of thing in this software, so I can't just copy and search or whatever like I would normally do.
Andrew Faulkner.
Yeah. Peaceable Texans. No, I don't have that one.
I think Washington has a couple different ones.
Yeah, it's just texasgunrights.org. Okay, now we got it.
Mr. Foss, can you think of the ones in Washington?
I don't know. I'm not very 2A. I actually don't know the state ones, other than like the Second Amendment Foundation, but that's more of a national one.
There is a comprehensive list online here, and it is huge.
Where at?
I'm going to link it to you real quick.
This is based off of my old list. I'm just trying to sort it now by state. I think it was alphabetical before, which is kind of stupid. I don't know why I did it that way for years, but
Yeah.
State. Yeah, this is my list.
Okay, roger that.
That's literally the list that I have on every second matter. So that's cool though. But I'll I'll just use it to double check.
I've really enjoyed some of the stuff I've seen.
Oh no, it says edited. It says by every second matters edited by. So yeah, it looks like they've added to it because my list was old as shit. So we got 1 Million Moms, American Firearms. Oh, you got seeing both, huh? I guess what I got to do.
Yeah.
To be kill that source. I'm using a thing that I normally use to screen capture to look at my, I'm just going to tell it to monitor capture desktop too. I'm using a thing that I normally use to screen capture to pipe into the StreamYard so that the StreamYard thinks that my monitor is my webcam. So that's why you're able to see it while you're whatever. And that's neat because I've got a Adobe product. Like, see, now I can drag stuff over. So this is the software package that I'm screen capturing with, and then I'm piping this in so it thinks it's my webcam. I can take some Adobe software I have that does like puppets. You make like a cartoon, and then it looks through your webcam at your face, and you don't have to do nothing. You just have to stand there, and it looks at your eyeballs and your nose, your mouth, or whatever, and it can tell what direction you're looking, and if you're looking left or right, or if your eyeballs look left or something, and then it applies all that to the puppet. So it's crazy. You can basically wear the skin of a cartoon creature, and then just do stuff in your webcam. It applies it to the thing, and then I would use that thing that I just had over here. I would shove it through here, and then I could make it appear as though it was my webcam, except it would really be piping through software. I've done it a couple of times, but that's why I ended up setting this up. But I use it more for just screen capture. What do you guys use? Do you screen capture at all? Like, do you edit or do you record what you're doing on your screen ever?
I do not.
No, I don't.
I'm not tech savvy enough.
I used gaming software back when I was doing it.
It's a thing that's very difficult. It's not in Windows, which is dumb, in my opinion. So you always had to figure out a way. That's why I ask it. Well, it's not. If it was something like Notepad, then we'd all be doing it. I don't know why they made it such a pain in the butt, though. I guess they made it difficult. So if it was just right there, it would be really easy to abuse it. Like, people that were a little bit savvy would be able to dominate people that were dumb about it. So I guess they made it kind of difficult so that it would make a level of abuse really difficult, right?
Right. Anybody been doing any phone tests recently?
What do you mean?
So bought a new phone and immediately set all of the apps on it to not listen to me and do the old Amazon test to see if it gets whatever you're talking about. It looks like with the modern phones, no matter what, it's snooping on you. To what extent, I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, that's a big thing. Don't go J5 or whatever. I'm worried about that.
Same
So
with
here's
the updates. You tell it to, not to auto update. It will anyway. Mine will just shut down right in the middle of a show or whenever. Like, doesn't even let me choose anymore.
The best way I've heard it described is think of it like right now, at least with 4G or whatever it's called, there's cell towers, right? And it's not technically like this, but that's the easiest way to describe it. There's cell towers, the way it was there was cell towers. And if they wanted to, with 3G or whatever, if they wanted to figure out where you were, they'd know that you're this many feet from that cell tower, you're that many miles from that cell tower, and you're so many yards from that cell tower. So doing the math, you must be somewhere in this like 50-yard zone, right? Because of your cell phone might be walking around or something. And then they went to 4G, and now it's like every street light is a cell tower, kind of. Let's just call it that way. So now it's however far you are from a street light, there's so many more street lights that they can do the math and go, you're pretty much sitting, in that building or in that house or in, that parking lot. That's where we're at now. With 5G, every phone is narking on every other phone. Every refrigerator is narking on every phone. Every little Apple disc you buy is, narking. Everything is narking on everything. So now going with 5G, they just know exactly where you are, on which side of the table, which direction you're sitting. And with everything with facial recognition and voice recognition, it's just like there's this virtual version of everything. You don't even have to have a phone. So it's not like be scared and you can get out of it by not buying a phone. If you just stand around near people, you're just in the matrix. So it's getting to be really scary. So it'll just mean that there's like no crime, right? Like how can you commit a crime if they know where everyone's at?
It's feeling 1984 to me, is what it feels
Oh
like.
no, it's way past that. It's more like you can't. 1984, you could go hide around the corner or whisper, and they couldn't hear you. You know what I mean? It's weird, scarier than that. Yeah. But at the same time, all everybody's got to do is not buy it, right? Go, oh, 5G's too scary, and then not buy it, and then they don't have every phone narking on every. And I'm dimming it down to make it.
Well, no, I think what you're saying has a good basis, right? Yes, you're making it simplified, but
they're listening to each other. The thing that gets me is I don't even want to carry my phone anymore because they do subaudible chirps and high frequency chirps at each other. So when you walk around the store, and you stand in front of the one pizza longer than the other pizza, or the one food in front of the other, the way they know that is the food, the aisles are chirping to your phone at frequencies we can't hear as humans. So our phones are constantly, like you just said, every time you update, you're like, yeah, whatever. So the reason you get the phone cheap, the reason you get your TV cheap, the reason you get all this stuff cheap is because they're way beyond knowing what we want. What, like, oh, you like that kind of pizza? They don't care. They know that if you like that kind of pizza and your kids are like this and you hang out with people like us, then you're going to buy that kind of car or whatever they find out about you. Like that's what they're at that level. Like they're keeping track of crazy amount of network and stuff.
That woman or that man who sued Target because his 17-year-old went into Target and bought some stuff and it printed her off a receipt that included maternity stuff. And so he sued Target for trying to get his daughter pregnant, and they explained their algorithm to him. And it was like people who buy these things over a course of time have like a 96% chance of being pregnant, right? And it wasn't obvious. It wasn't like a pregnancy test or something like that, right? It wasn't like baby clothes or something. And so they apologized to him. And then the guy got back on the news media like 2 weeks later and was like, well, I apparently didn't have my shit together because my daughter's pregnant.
Oops.
So, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, G-Webs.
So, I know it's not 2A related, but it's definitely some good news, if you want to think. There was a judge in Douglas County, Oregon, who just handed out the largest sentence to a pedo in like history.
2 weeks because it was female.
The female judge handed out a 275-year sentence.
Thank God.
Yep. 275 years. So.
Who left the toilet seat up?
So. I thought that was some good news.
Some woman in, I think it was Colorado, got a month of freaking, or a few months of monitoring for pedophilic action. And I was like, my God, can we not encourage it?
Yeah, we gotta stop giving these slap on the wrist kind of things. We gotta start actually punishing crimes if we want to change behavior.
Well, I don't.
I'm just saying, Patriot said MCRGO. I got that one. Thanks.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know if punishing victimless crimes is doing anything for our society. I understand if there's a victim, but there are
Yeah.
some crimes that we're beginning to fill our jails up with for
Oh,
no
yeah.
reason.
Beginning, we got more criminals than anybody except what, China, and they're huge. Like they're not even near our population. They're insane. Like their percentage of criminals is nothing compared to ours, and they're fucking communists, right?
Well, let's be real for a minute. They may have killed 22 million people who got
that's true. They
this
kill
way.
them. They kill them.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, that is a good point. They're not going to bother. They only keep people that they think they could use, or probably leveraging or coercing them or something. But anyway, we do keep a lot of people in jail, and it costs us a lot of money. And it is because of victimless crimes, like you're saying. It's some sort of morality play or some sort of like whatever you want to call it, but it is some sort of manipulative big state garbage game. And what I'm getting at is with how many states? I just did all those maps, and I did one for marijuana laws because I was curious. And it's basically, if you look at all the states that have recreational now, it turns the map one color, and then there's a few holdouts. It's like looking at one of the pro-gun type of things. So there's, with most of the states, to the point where they're not, it's either decriminalized and medical or recreational and medical. And then there's a couple of states that are just medical still. And then there's like 4 states like Texas and a couple others that are like, no, not at all. So there's no way that you would think at a federal push. The thing is, I don't think there's something like an NRA. Like there's no NRA for pot that's going to push federally, right? It would just have to be somebody trying to get brownie points or something, or thinking that it's going to be a political win for them. But anyway, I think with that momentum, we could see a lack of, a lack of
reduction
confidence. Yeah, just like, oh, well, that was bullshit, and the people that created it were assholes. So let's get rid of all that stuff, and hopefully, they pull people out of jail. Like, oh, well, what you were in jail for is not illegal anymore, so therefore you can come out of jail. Just don't sue us for having you in jail or whatever. You don't want to pay everybody for coming out of jail, but. Then we got a lot less burden, and now it's like, oh, you're violent? Guess what? We got rooms.
There's plenty of space. What did you guys hear that some of the protesters they've been locking the July 6th protesters in solitary confinement so that they don't get killed in general population? So these guys and gals, some of them that were arrested, are now all in solitary in some places, and a lot of them are suing to try to get removed out of the DC legal system because apparently they're under threat and there's no organization supporting them. Nobody. So we like to eat our own a lot.
Yeah, we do.
Wait, protecting or supporting people that are going to jail for walking in on the 6th or whatever?
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's what's it called when they're going to take somebody and use them as a sacrifice, and everybody that runs over there is also a sacrifice. Then that's not just like, hey, support us with $50 or like wear a bracelet. That's like prepare to be taken down with them and put in jail or something. Like, they're making it seem like if you support that, you support insurrection of the government and shit.
Yeah.
I'm all for like toning down that bullshit rhetoric, or holding the people that create rhetoric like that to make an environment where people are scared to protect somebody that walked into a place that may or may not have had police asking them not to, and calling that an insurrection. Yeah, that, those people should be decided, it should be decided if those people are fit, right? If they think that was the definition of an insurrection, they're not fit to do anything, let alone lead anybody or represent anybody. I shouldn't say lead.
Yep.
Represent anybody. But anyway, I think when they create a situation where it's like, oh, you're not just voicing an opinion for, based on the First Amendment right, you're somehow aligning yourself and putting yourself on a list. I mean, that's super scary, but that's what it is, isn't it?
That's exactly what it is.
I got like death threats and comments just the other day about, I'm going to make sure the FBI sees all of this and blah, blah, blah about the videos I had there. And I didn't go inside or nothing like that, but some people are pretty crazy about it.
You're talking like just random people know that you were there and yell at you, or like law enforcement yells at you for talking about it?
The chat, or my videos about the rally. So they comment on those videos.
Where you were like, you mean you were there technically the day, but it's not like your videos are somebody getting hit in the face with a glass or something. You're just walking and stuff. Like those videos are adjacent.
Right. Plus, I didn't go anywhere I wasn't,
Yeah, exactly.
anywhere they
They're
didn't
like-
want me to go, I guess you could say.
Well, the
Yeah, so
Reddit
people-
video of that guard holding the door open got removed from Reddit, and they permabanned the guy's account that put it up there.
Yeah, but New York wasn't anywhere near that. He's just out on the street, like
Yeah.
in the same city, but not even anywhere near. But I'm just saying somebody'd have to go out of their way to come over to your video and give you grief. They're just looking for somebody to give grief to. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right.
There's dead meat laying around the streets in that place.
It's New York. I need somebody who's better educated than I am about this. I have a holster. I had it made for me. It's leather. How is the best way to fit this thing to my revolver? Should I get the leather wet? What should I do?
Oh, for mine, I just wrapped a plastic grocery bag around it, because that'll give you a little bit of spacing, and then shove it in there and leave it in for a couple days. That worked great for my Taurus and
Thank
my
you.
1791 holster.
Thank you.
Back in the day, I thought we used neat foot oil or something, some kind of oil, not water.
I have mink oil. I have a ton
Mink
of
oil? Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
I know.
Softens
I know
leather.
I know they have conditioning oils and stuff that you can get out there if you want to go that way. But yeah, just some saran wrap or a plastic bag wrapped around it with some like rubber bands, and then cram it in there and let it sit. It's just like you remember back in the day when you were forming baseball gloves. You put your baseball in there. You'd take and roll your glove and put a shoelace around it and let it sit for like a week.
Yeah, you don't even need the.
But you don't want to do that to a holster. You want a holster to be rigid and like a hard shell, right? So maybe that's not the way to do it.
Well, we've had a lot of black bear, Gabriel. We've had a lot of black bear sightings around here. We've not been hunting them the way we would usually, so they're not getting pushed up north like they typically would. So they've been encroaching on the cities, and the wife wants to go and do a 2-mile canoeing trip in to see a waterfall that is in the middle of known black bear territory. And I want to take my 44 with me. And I realized that I don't have anything that's not a chest holster. And the problem,
2 mile.
2 mile, 2 mile, 2.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about 2 miles. I can't imagine a bear being so brazen. That's had to be within like here in a horn or something. You know?
No. You paddle in 2 miles. The waterfall in the base area of the waterfall, that's the only way to access it. So you get there, and there's actually this little island in front of the waterfall, and you get off the boat on the island, and you can picnic and watch the waterfall, and that's what she wants to do.
Oh, so it's not like I'm thinking like a forest preserve inside of a city.
No.
Just bring an extra picnic basket.
Yeah, keep me at bay.
Yeah, exactly. No, you have one picnic basket that's got really good food, and then your food. And then you put the really good food set up over there. The bears will go over there.
I still trust my 629 when it comes to black bears.
Yeah, I've got my Model 360 is. I just got a new holster for it, so I got it wrapped in a plastic bag and hid the holster in the safe for a couple days.
I'll have to do that. It's a good idea. I appreciate the direction there. To be honest with you, I think I've owned one leather holster my entire life. I've mostly owned Kydex.
I got to cut out, folks. Sat down for dinner, so I don't want to be rude. But
brother, be safe.
Yep, it's good to talk to you again. So hopefully we'll see you around more.
Yes, I will try to be around more.
Cool. Catch up with the rest of you guys later. Everybody have a good night. Enjoy your evening.
Be safe out
Oh
there,
yeah,
bud.
eat a salad. All right.
Later, Rob.
Take care.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people asking about you. Sandhill Shooter asked about you. Travis P11. Like
Well, for a
Gizzard
while there,
Gary.
every time I had a conversation with somebody, I went into a coughing fit, and the paranoia about COVID reached a peak there for a little bit. And every time you go into a coughing fit in front of somebody, they think you're dying of COVID. So
Every time I cough, I got a smoker's cough. I just, even if I'm out in public, I'm like, guess what? It's COVID.
didn't
People
they
will,
throw a guy in jail for that?
people will stay the hell away from you.
I thought they were imprisoning people for that.
Yeah, I guess there's probably some kind of crap, Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is just cough just once, and people are like already panicking and like walking away from you. It's kind of funny. The wife's over here laughing and saying that I have an odd sense of humor. I also walked into Fred Meyer or Kroger, QVC, whatever you want. It's all the same corporation. Open carrying my G23 yesterday.
Yeah.
Not wearing a mask. Wearing a Pro 2A Tony Simon shirt.
We have no more masks at all here.
Yeah, they say, what is it? If you're not vaccinated, you're supposed to wear a mask, but they also say they're not going to ask if you are vaccinated or not. So, kind of like gays in the military: don't ask, don't tell.
It was don't be when I was in the military initially, and then it changed to don't ask, don't tell, and nothing changed at all. The medical corps was always full of gay people. We didn't have any problems with them.
Exactly.
Well, they were there to save lives. As long as you're there to save lives and you keep your head where it should be, then you're fine.
So
I'd have been like, hold on, who's holding my artery? Is that a gay dude? I don't want him holding my artery.
Especially if it's your femoral artery, right?
Dude, that's the worst artery. I want a girl holding my artery.
Oh. So Patriot in the Dark says, best way to break in that holster, place a revolver in the holster and ship it to me. I'll fix it up good for you.
Yeah, I'm sure he would. I wonder what these things are worth now. I bought mine 5 years ago. Let's see, $629. Smith & Wesson -4. Let's see. So, my Trail Boss 629-4 is worth about $400 more than I paid for it.
Now, let's correct. That is what the book value says. It is only worth what another person is willing to give you for it.
Or worth up to whatever they would give you.
Yeah.
Or it's worth as much as a bunch of people are willing to fight about it. Whatever.
Right?
And debate it to the nth degree. Well, they've sold for about $1,300, and I bought it for, I think, $800 something. I think I paid like $869 for it.
See, that's not bad. I know earlier in the chat there was some discussion on revolvers, and like best revolver under $1,000, and I'm like, dude, there's a lot of revolvers that you can get for under $1,000.
Any Smith & Wesson, in my opinion.
And then we discussed the Ruger Red Hawk in 10mm.
They didn't get rid of that obsolete cartridge while I was gone.
Nope. Absolutely not.
They get rid of 40 calibers yet?
40 caliber is going to be around more than 9mm is going to go away first.
Didn't the FBI and the CIA just go back over to 9mm?
No, they all switched to 40. I thought, or was that a meme? I thought they switched to 40 because they couldn't find 9 during the shortages or whatever.
Let's see. They may have.
I mean, I don't know if it was a temporary thing, but I thought I'd seen something where people were gloating, like, haha, now they're going back to 40 because they could get so much of it for training and stuff where they couldn't get 9.
Let's see.
Or maybe it was like they went into their coffers and used their 40s, so they didn't have to like buy nothing. They just went back and used up all their 40s. Or I said something. I saw something like that.
I got you. Well, everything I know that the FBI went back to 9mm as a policy change, but I don't know about that specific incident.
I mean, you're talking like a long time ago, many years ago. Yes, but I'm talking like last year or in this year. I remember just seeing this like really recently because of the whole COVID part. Am I allowed to say that? Because of the whole COVID.
I was unaware that law enforcement I think our local law enforcement asked for some shotgun shells for training, and the hunting club that I'm a part of, we took up a collection so that they had shotgun shells for training.
You would think that they would have had some, a nice stockpile.
Apparently not. They were very grateful to have them.
I bet they were. I mean, free is always better than spending $1.
I wouldn't call it free. I mean, they patrol our area. They watch the property. Of course, that's our money too, right?
Exactly. So now you're double paying them.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing. Don't get me wrong.
Well, boys, it is bedtime for me. It's good talking to the amazing humans that you all are again. Please have an awesome night.
It was definitely great having you back on. Definitely stay in touch with us. You have my cell phone number, and you got my email address.
I will. And have a good night, guys.
Yep, you too. I guess Mr. M. Gabriel's running out of here, so have a good evening, M. Gabriel. So,
Is everybody just ditching out of here because barbecue's about to do some kind of meat show? When is that show? Or do you already do it?
you know, not quite sure. Yeah. If he has it, he has it. I sent him a link to this, but I guess he's too good to come over here.
It doesn't look like he has it scheduled. So I don't see it on his channel.
I know he put out a video earlier today saying that he was somewhere or whatever. Maybe in that video he said he wasn't doing his show tonight. Not quite sure.
You know, it was only 2A on days that have a 2 in them. So Tuesdays and Thursdays.
I see we have Ozzy out in the crowd. Ozzy would have been a great guy to have asked for breaking in leather holsters. So, we got any rallies coming up in Arizona that you know of?
No, it's too hot. They do them in February or whenever it was. February. It's like 100 now, so 108 during the day in Phoenix. Nobody wants to go outside.
Defense Dad says he's back. He was probably gone the whole time Nighthawk Medic was here. So, I think Rich is going to have his wrestling chat, but not sure anyone even watches any wrestling.
I haven't really watched any since the early 90s.
I don't say late 80s, early 90s, probably. The last time. Defense Dad said he was here for part of it. Ozzy says you don't need to break in my holsters. Just wear them. I needed to get you to do a P320 holster for the wife. So, running through, trying to see if you got any more 2A organizations that you didn't have.
Oh yeah, I found a bunch. Of course, on the NRA site, NRA never does nothing for nobody except they just filled me in with like, I don't know, 30 new ones. The thing is, some of them are like a Facebook account, and I'm sure the NRA is like trying to support them or something, or you know, the thing might be old. Who knows? The NRA is kind of broke right now, so they might be, broken, not like out of money, but they might not be updating their site, I guess, or something. But I mean, the ones that are working, I've found a bunch. Like I had to make the font way tiny now because I found so many. So yeah, I found a bunch. I knew I was missing some because I didn't have any for some whole states, right? So I knew there had to be a better list because there has to be at least one organization in every state. I would imagine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as long as they still have a list of all the like 2A organizations in each state and stuff like that, that's definitely a help to anyone looking for local 2A groups.
Well, it is the one that are NRA affiliated, so it's going to be sort of the like buddy, or more than likely, it's going to be like the
Yeah.
buddy ones that are kind of hunter safety maybe or something, but still, it's a organization and it can get you. Well, most of them are state rifle and pistol associations. Those all started in like by the Militia Act of 1908. Funded every state to have one. So I don't know if each state didn't exist back then, so they can't all be from there. But anyway, each state, I guess, has one, at least technically, and NRA links to them. And that probably has something to do with CMP. So I'm probably going to go to CMP, and they'll probably have a bunch also. But anyway, I think that might be part of this, is like there's some official stuff for like probably the colleges and the high schools and stuff, where they probably say, so I'm just guessing that if a school has anything to do with guns, and no matter what the state is, it probably says the school doesn't have to figure it out. Do with whatever the state says. And the state probably says, we don't want to figure it out, so we're going to do whatever the NRA says, right? And then the NRA is like, here you go. Like, here's whatever's next in that line. Here's the safety, or here's the document that you need, or whatever. But anyway, a lot of them are called like the such and such state rifle association, and then a whole bunch of them are called like the state shooting sports association. So I'm guessing that's more like the hunter side of it. But now I went from having not even one for every state, and now I have, some states have 4, 5. Of course, one of them is called the Washington State Tyranny Response Team, so I'm not sure what that's all about. You know what that is? Washington State Tyranny Response Team? Ever heard of it?
I think they kind of started about going after like 1639.
Oh, that's probably right. No, that makes sense. I was thinking some sort of weird, like something else, but
I think that's where that group like kind of came around. I think they were talked about on the PR or PR News Wire. I think that might be another one of those groups also. But, yeah. We have anything we want to discuss? Any topics anyone has?
how many people are watching now? It doesn't tell us. I'm used to looking up here.
We got 14 out in the crowd. Because I don't think I have any more topics or anything. Mr. Foss, you have anything you want to talk about?
Nothing offhand.
So, I think we're gonna go ahead and kill the live stream. I got nothing. I don't want to just sit here with a bunch of dead air. So, Mr. G Webs, you got any plugs or anything you want to throw out there?
No, thanks for hosting each week and letting me jump in. We'll go chat with Medic there for a bit, or I guess Nighthawk Medic.
Yep, you're completely welcome. And I definitely was glad to see Nighthawk Medic out in the chat and have him jump on here for a while. Definitely, guys, if you're looking for any patches or any 2A information, there's some great books over on gearwebsite.com. And
Oh, snap. Yeah, thanks. I guess I should have taken the opportunity to say that there's that campaign running. I'll throw a link in there. I totally forgot about that. I'm sitting here working on it.
I know you've got that, Indiegogo campaign?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got this book that I'm working on right now.
Do you have the link?
So I need 100 people, 100 books. So if you know somebody, please let them know. Somebody might be interested. The link. So I need 100 people, 100 books. Thanks.
Do you have the link for your Indiegogo?
Yep,
Oh,
he just posted it.
Oh, okay.
So, again, guys, that link is for G-Web's Indiegogo for the 2A book he is working on right now. If you haven't seen any of his videos on him, he just did a 4th edition live stream where he was, going through the book and adding to it and everything. So definitely can't wait till I get my draft copy. So it is pretty darn amazing. So, Mr. Foss, you got any plugs? Any upcoming events?
I'm gonna do my chat in the morning. 1 a.m. Pacific, 4 o'clock metric. And yeah. I don't know.
You gonna do some videos tomorrow?
Hopefully, maybe. We'll see. No guarantees. But yeah. There were links to everybody who's been on the panel earlier in the chat, so you can go back and check out anybody's page, or check out anybody that's out in the chat, or better yet, start making videos yourself, because you never know who wants to hear what you have to say.
Yep. Again, glad to hear that Medic is still alive, and if you're the praying type, go ahead, send him some thoughts and prayers for some, guidance on his health, to keep him healthy, and hopefully we can get him back into producing content, or at least jumping on panels and giving some good advice. So, I will definitely see you guys next Saturday evening. So, thanks everybody, and have a good night.
Bye bye.